What is up, guys? Polder here, bringing you a little update video, and then after my ramblings here, we're gonna have a little fun, ranking my favorite three houses characters. I have a list, that I've just been keeping on my desktop here from before the game came out, just based, like, on who I like most to least, just based on what we knew the sentence or two that they talked about characters before the game's release. And oh boy, is it weird to look at now that I've actually experienced all these characters for myself. Only I think one of them is in their correct spot, and that's Dedu. Spoilers. But stick around to the latter half of this video for that. But this update is essentially trying to work out where we go from here. I touched on it a little bit in the credits during the Silver Snow LP. I mentioned I would make an update video and elaborate and really, dig deep into all of that. But quick disclaimer, Fire Emblem's not going anywhere. It's also not changing so drastically that it's unrecognizable on the channel. Like, I'm not about to be like, okay, the LPs are done, they're over, it's time to become a video essay guy. No, that shit's not me. I'm just here to play video games and suffer, and just share the things I love doing. That's not one of them. I'm not here to write up the thesis of the history of the skill Astra in Fire Emblem, or the fucking clickbait, why you should hate three houses. That shit, no. Want to just clear that up before moving on. Just that, I guess a big TLDR, it's not going anywhere. Just things are changing though. So, and real quick, you guys, if you've been around for long enough, you probably know my memory's trash. So if I have literally everything I want to say written up, and if I didn't do this, I would forget major chunks of things I wanted to say. So if you see me reading, it's because I am. So, back in 2013, I did an LP of Fire Emblem Awakening to make use of my 3DS capture card while waiting for Pokemon X and Y later that year. It was a very spare of the moment thing, but it was incredibly fun. And I decided after that I wanted to dive full on into Fire Emblem LPs. Prior to that LP, growing up, I'd played Radiant Dawn. It was my first Fire Emblem ever. I played that about 2-ish times before ever making any content. And then I played Path of Radiance. So whenever Awakening came out, I was like, oh shit, I had so many good times of Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiance. I need to check that out. I started playing a little bit. I was like, you know what? Might as well. I got this capture card. Let's share it. Lo and behold, here we are. After that, I decided, okay, I'm gonna make a goal of playing through every single Fire Emblem game here on YouTube. And 7 years later, we've done it. And I'm at a pretty big crossroads now. Along the way, I had people asking what I was gonna do after I finish all the games. And my answer would always be like the same three things. The Kaga Sagas, challenge, gimmick / randomizer run, and ROM hacks. Which, quick note, on the Kaga Sagas, I'm still unsure about. The more I hear about them, the less I actually want to play them. And the more I'm like, maybe I should just stream them because they don't seem very fun. I don't know. They're very up in the air. But the problem is, that was an answer I was giving before really digging deep into Twitch streaming. Since about the Fates release, I've been doing those challenge / gimmick / randomizer runs over on Twitch pretty regularly. So I'd have the main LP here on YouTube, and have some sort of challenge whatever run going on over on Twitch. And over those 4 years I've been doing this, I really learned that it's just too much Fire Emblem for me. It may not seem like it just from the YouTube side of things, but I'm a person that likes to play a whole variety of games. Some of them make their way here to YouTube, but most of them don't. At the time of recording this, I actually did a few cool little stats for me, if anything else. But at the time of recording this, I've played through 131 games on my stream. Only 23 of those, counting Tokyo Mirage Sessions, have been Fire Emblem. So only about 17% of every game I've ever played on stream, and that is to completion. I don't write down the games I quit, which aren't many, or any game that's so open it doesn't have like an ending. Like that's not including Animal Crossing or anything like that. And of the 108 non-Fire Emblem games I've done, only 31 of those have made their way here to YouTube. So that's what, 28.7%? Less than a third. So yeah, I play a lot of games. My to-do list is forever growing. But that's all really to just drive home the fact that the pile of extra variety that I play is really what keeps me sane. I love Fire Emblem, but I can't only play Fire Emblem. I mean, hell, even just here on YouTube, there's Pokemon, which is in the works, by the way, if you're wondering about that. I could rant on that for a very long time. It's not going anywhere. I don't want the break to turn into another one-year hiatus. Things are trying to come along. But I've been really feeling the burnout lately. And I know that I need to make a change, but the dilemma is I'm not gonna do challenge runs here and on Twitch at the same time. I don't want to continue doing what I've been doing, essentially, or go the next step, like, because Twitch has been the challenge run section. This is not. I don't want to make them both challenge run sections. That would kill me. But after kind of, you know, building things up on both platforms, centralized around Fire Emblem, removing it from either probably wouldn't be the best idea. But to be fully transparent here, I don't do this for the money. It is just a very nice side effect. I don't make a whole lot, but it's substantial enough that it does matter to me. And honestly, the decision would be easier if one platform was more lucrative than the other. But I make the same monthly from both. So that doesn't help my decision at all. But the main thing, chugging along all these years, that has kept me doing this is that I just love creating and interacting with all of you. And with the massive changes and projects coming to an end, all that, there will be people who leave no matter what. But I've just been trying to rack my brain to figure out what the best compromise would be to shift everything where I'm also not suffering mentally more than I normally do. But I don't want to neglect either side. And ultimately, I just want things to keep growing. Again, the money, I mean, it's just a nice side effect, but I have a far better time just interacting with you all. And I don't want to kill off an entire section of, you know, that interaction to push one or the other forward. I like to just keep all pushing forward. But maybe that's just too optimistic thinking. I don't know. So the two options that I have thought of, been kind of sitting on for a bit, is that we flip off between YouTube and Twitch. So like Bow Emblem is a good example. Everything I do on Twitch Fire Emblem related gets uploaded to YouTube no matter what. And I do a thing called Bow Emblem that started over there, where I run through a Fire Emblem game using only bows. That we'll be doing very soon, actually. Actually, it should be this upcoming Monday. You're seeing this on a Friday. It should be this upcoming Monday is when we start it. Bow Emblem 4. We'll be doing it through 3 houses, and it's going to be a PMU of sorts just because of how many options there are. But using that as an example, we would be doing just that. That'd be on Twitch, and then VOD uploads would get put up here. And then after that's done, we start one solely on YouTube. No Fire Emblem on Twitch whatsoever. And then whenever that's done here on YouTube, then we move back and we flip back and forth between just different runs. Or I move all the challenge runs here to YouTube. And that goes with like replays. I talked about potentially redoing some of the older LPs that I've done because they have not aged very well at all. Their quality is not great. So like Path of Radiance is a perfect example. If you go back to that, I kind of like the thumbnails for those. But you click it, it is not good. So I love to like redo things like that. So that's all lumped in with the challenge runs, gimmick runs, all that. We move everything here to YouTube. But every few months or so, over on Twitch, I'll do something challenge run related. So we'll technically still be doing them side by side. There'll be something going on YouTube, but then like occasionally something also going on Twitch at the same time, but with bigger gaps in between. Instead of, okay, this run on Twitch is done, let's start another one. Those are the two options I'm thinking of. And I honestly don't know which one I'm leaning more toward. Either way, any Fire Emblem related things that happen on Twitch will show up on YouTube. But I also know I can't please absolutely everyone. Hell, probably not even myself. And I know that both presentations, both platforms, both styles of Fire Emblem runs are very different. You know, like YouTube LPs, they're very like one-on-one. You can feel more like I'm bringing you specifically along. They can be edited to be super clean, super tidy, like all the resets I cut out, so we can just keep things moving forward. You know, typically a lot higher quality. But then streams, I don't get that luxury of cutting things out. You know, technical difficulties, internet issues, the occasional heckler or stream troll. It's all done real time. It all happens, so things can get kind of scuffed sometimes. And they do tend to be, you know, lacking visual quality. You know, the bitrate's not, I can't sit here and stream 50k bitrate, you know. But it's a more laid-back environment. I'd say typically chilled out way of playing through Fire Emblem, but we've had way more stressful challenge runs over on Twitch than just doing stuff here on YouTube. So it's not always chill, but the environment is very chill. Maybe not the game and the run itself and everything that's happening, but you know, and just talking with everyone in attendance to the stream, with whatever may be the topic of discussion. We're not talking about the game. We talk about food a lot. One of the most recent things I could think of is we talked about JailCon. So yeah, things can be very, very all over the place. And I know that doesn't always translate well to a YouTube audience. Like, I definitely get it. There are creators I watch only on YouTube, not a fan of their stream content, and vice versa. So, like, yeah, like, if you're a fan of the, like, going back to the YouTube, the one-on-one kind of feel, and you go watch a stream VOD where I'm talking to this group of people over here and not necessarily in this one-on-one, it's a very different feel. I get it. But those are the two options I am seeing. So, I would love your guys' input on what you would like to see between those two, or if there's a completely new thing that I have not thought of. I can't think of anything. Anything, everything, brain empty. So yeah, if you have suggestions, I'm all ears. But the one suggestion I definitely want, if nothing else, is what game you want to see next. It doesn't necessarily have to be a specific run or anything, just the game in general. Because one way or another, we're gonna be starting another LP. You know, we have Bow Emblem going, but whether we wait until after that Bow Emblem is done to start it here, or start alongside, whichever, I definitely want to know what game you guys would like to see next up on the chopping block. And then I'll figure out some sort of something or other to do with it. Whether it just be, like, depending on what the game is, maybe just a regular run-through, a randomizer, some sort of challenge run, you know. So, that is the state of things right now. And that about wraps up the serious time with this update. I figured I'd lump in this extra thing with the update, the favorite characters thing, just because I don't know, I didn't really want to make another video on it. It was just fuck it, just shove them together. I didn't want to do it at the same time because I can't fucking walk and talk at the same time. But yes, please let me know what Fire Emblem game, and you could maybe make it as like, what's your favorite Fire Emblem game, and then I'll find something to do with everyone's favorite, like the majority's favorite Fire Emblem game. I don't know, something, just suggestions. Go wild. But this is FE Sorter. They have not updated for the DLC, but after we are all said and done, I will talk about the DLC characters when they go. And maybe, like, place everyone out on, like, a tier list. We'll get best of both worlds here. This is at fesorter.tumblr.com. It's hosted on Tumblr. They have every Fire Emblem game on here. But this is where the Three Houses stuff went down. Before the game came out, everyone was doing this. A lot of people, my Discord was doing it. We were comparing. It was really fun, but it was all based on pretty much nothing. It was mostly just what do they look like and if we know anything about them at all. But here's the list. This is my top 3. Dedu is not moving. But Felix and Shamir were my number 2s, mostly because Felix just looked cool as shit, and Shamir was a thirst pick, who also looks cool as shit. I'm not afraid to admit that. But beyond there comes the rest. And notice how many ties there are for, different places, especially the bottom. Bernadetta, it's going to stay last. She's going to stay 35th or lower. I don't know how many. But Dorothea was tied. Linhart, Ignatz, Claude were way down here. Catherine was up there. Manuela was up there. More thirst picks, but they're still probably going to be upper half. Not going to lie. Raphael was way up there. But he's not gonna. He's probably middle of the herd. I love him. I love most characters in this game, but just seeing everyone, it's kind of insane. Just this is what my initial reaction was whenever we were shown these characters, and oh boy, time to see where everything winds up now. So if you go, this will be linked in the description. Definitely display image. We're gonna deselect all and only select 3 houses. You can do this with every character, and it's going to take you like hours if you do this with every single Fire Emblem character. But let's get it going. So we might skip around to know how long this is going to take, but for sure, these are actually very close for me. I really like Shamir. I really like, a lot of people really hate Gilbert. I think he's a really cool character, but Shamir barely beats him out. Tomas essentially doesn't exist. Yuritsa, get in there. Rhea versus Manuela. I really like Rhea as a character, especially whenever you see her from the Crimson Flower point of view. Oh my god, is she incredible. I think she's really well done. But it only goes so far, right? She's not constantly around. She doesn't have supports with anyone other than Byleth. But someone whose supports I do really like and is always present. Manuela, hell fucking yeah. Raphael versus Leone. I definitely gotta go with Leone on this. Raphael is fun. Leone gets boiled down to just the, I think Ingrid. Leone just kind of gets boiled down to the, obsessed with our dad, Geralt. She has so much more, but whatever. Very clear. Now, these two are very close for me. Like, very close. Probably, ooh. I could probably swap these either way they end up. I could probably probably switch them around either way. I guess I just hit tie at that point, right? Well, no, Dorothea, I fucking hate her hat. And if you're questioning why she was bottom, it was because of her hat. I still can't stand her pre-time skip hat. But I feel like most of the game is spent post. I don't know. The time skip designs are what I'm more used to with the characters at this point, which is weird. So like seeing them here is a bit off. But Dorothea as a character, so good. And so is Hubert, though. And I liked Hubert from the get-go. But just barely. I do think I like Dorothea more. So with this over Byleth, it's sassy imaginary friend versus nothing. Definitely Talus over Megamind. Ooh, now Kronia. I didn't like Shamir more, but Kronia is one half thirst pick slash like really fucking cool design deserved so much more. I thought she was cool. For the bit she was here, I thought she was cool, but she needed to be in the forefront for way longer. Just on principle, I gotta go with Gilbert there. Ooh. Yeah, Catherine. Definitely gotta be. I love Eloise, but it's gotta be Catherine. Jerry, my boy. Gotta go with Jerry. But Cyril is definitely better than this fucking nobody. Ooh. Now these two, I love both of these two. I think I like Flame more, and it might be a lot of, you know, their Flame, Berserker, Destroyer of Worlds bias, but both of them are really, really good. They're definitely way up there for me. Manuela, I love Hanneman, but I like Manuela even more. But I like Hanneman more than I like Rhea, as much as I love Rhea. Lysithea, she's definitely like bottom of the main cast for me. One of the bottom. But Marianne is one of my absolute favorite characters in the entire game. Ignatz too. This man surprised the shit out of him. And I gotta give this one to Hilda. Ooh, now this one's actually a bit closer, because like, Claude is cool, Ingrid is cool, but like, I don't feel super strongly to either of them, honestly. But I think ultimately I gotta give it to Claude. Oh, Annette for sure. I fucking love Annette. She's so good. Dedu. Now Felix versus Mercedes. Yeah, no, definitely Felix. The more I think about Mercedes, the more it's just like, all of her supports, I feel like, mostly highlight the other person. She has a really tragic backstory, and I really like that, but I don't know. She doesn't really, at least to me, she doesn't stand out nearly as much as most of the other cast. You know, edgy boy, let's go. Linhardt, top 3. Top 3 character. I fucking love Linhardt. Dorothea, there we go. Ooh, no, I gotta give it to Edelgard. They're kind of close, though, to me. But Edelgard over Sothis, that's no contest. Anyone over Talus is really no contest. Catherine, yeah, Eloise over Jerry Boy. Pauline over Manuela. Set, not quite. Very close. Very, very close. Manuela's got to win that one. But I think he barely over Hanneman. I hate picking, but everyone has their favorites. Your mom, if you have multiple siblings, your mom said she doesn't have favorites, she's lying. Marianne, literally, Marianne's here, Ignatz is the next slot. I love them both so much. There we go. Leonie over Lysithea any day. Raphael over Lysithea for sure. Oh, Hilda. Do I like Claude more than I like Lawrence? Barely. But I definitely like Lawrence over Ingrid. Right, Dedu, Annette, definitely Felix. Yeah, no, going back, I gotta give that one to Sylvain too. Oh, my boy, Dimitri. Now this one, okay, it's probably Caspar. Petra, I don't know. So, I like Petra, but like, I don't love Petra. You know, I just don't feel. And of course, everything, I don't know, I just don't feel super strongly toward Petra. It's similar to Mercedes. I think I feel the same way between Petra and Mercedes. So Caspar for sure. Dorothea, Hubert, ooh. So Ferdinand as a person, as a character, I don't really like a whole lot, but a lot of his A supports super surprised me. Some of his A supports are my favorite A supports in the entire game. But the lead-ups, not so much. I still think I enjoyed Ferdinand more than Edelgard. So, Ferdy, this is your 1W over Edelgard, I suppose, right? You gotta beat her somewhere. Oh, why? Again, this is like Marianne and Ignatz, I think. They're like right there. I gotta give it to Shamir, though, just slightly more. And then Catherine. And then I think Gilbert? Yeah. And I really like Eloise. But sometimes the visuals are just really good. Okay, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. We'll look at everything at the end. Skip ahead just so this doesn't end up being like 45 minutes of this. But we're definitely getting down to it. Ash, yeah. Okay. I think I've noticed a pattern. It kind of goes through and then loops back. Like, is this still your favorite? How about this person? So Dedu, Lynn, Marianne, Ignatz, Dorothea, Hubert, Annette, Blaine, Manuela, Seteth, definitely, Dimitri, Hanneman, Shamir, Catherine. Okay, I feel like this is where it's gonna all kind of lay itself out. Gilbert, Kronya, then Felix, then Rhea. I think I like Eloise just barely above Hilda. And Caspar. Ooh, these two are actually very close for me. I think Sylvain slightly more. I do really like Leonie, but I think I like Sylvain just a bit more than Leonie. Then I would say we're gonna go ahead and put Ferdinand. And after Ferdinand, I think would be Claude. Then probably Lawrence. And Raphael. Do I like Raphael more than I like Edelgard? Yes. Just barely. Just barely. But I think I like Edelgard. Yuritsa's cool, but I think I like Edelgard more. Then Mercy, Petra. I think Yuritsa is cooler than Ingrid. Again, a lot of these, there's only two characters I dislike in this entire game. So they're either just like kind of there, or they're just like, I like you, but like not enough, you know? So I think I like Yuritsa more, but I like Ingrid more than Cyril. I like Sothis more than Cyril, but I think I like Cyril, and then Lysithea, and then Ash. Then gotta put Byleth. Literally anyone is better, and that was 100%. The battle has been sorted. Now, there is another site, Fire Emblem Tier List Maker. This has a lot more options. And it has the DLC. I'm gonna kind of list everything out, input, and we're gonna go through that. But you can see this is probably pretty accurate. Dedu, Linhardt, Marianne, my top 3 in that order. Absolutely. Ignatz, Dorothea, Hubert. Are there any ties? There probably aren't any ties. I don't think I hit the tie button a single time. I was close. I was very close though. Actually, no, this looks very, very accurate. But don't put them in tiers. You could actually physically see their face instead of just text in a table. All right. I think this is where everything stands. And you can see there's a lot of, we should probably zoom in some more so we can just kind of go down the list, right? So of course, absolute king of the universe, supreme chef Deddy Pie. He is in his own, he's a league above his own. But Happy, again, was not in the FE sorter. As were a lot of some other side characters that I really like more than some other regular characters. Happy, I fucking love Happy. Happy is so good. She immediately became my second. But then we go back to the FE sorter, and these are ordered tiers, by the way. It's Lynn above Marianne, above Ignatz. And this is all law. If you disagree, like, you're wrong. Sorry. Clearly, I do not mean that, but feel free to get mad at me, because a tier list makes at least one person irrationally angry regardless. So, well, then we go here, and everyone is where they just ended up a second ago. But Balthus is right behind Manuela. Balthus was such a good addition. I really, really like Balthus. But then we move on to the C tier. These are like the, I would say the halfway point. I don't even know where the halfway point is, to be honest. But again, there's really only one or 2 points where it's just like, I don't really like anyone beyond this line. But C tier, Yuri is the new addition. Yuri and Constance, well, with an asterisk, and Abyss Keeper. So Yuri, really, really good. I really like him. He's not like an absolute favorite. Like, everyone down to B is pretty much an absolute favorite. Here's where we start getting like, I really like them, but I can't. I think we're too far down to say they're a favorite at this point, but I really like him. Constance, you can see down here, Constance will show up twice, because Constance indoors, not in the sun, incredible. I love her. Constance in the sun, incredibly obnoxious. There were some moments, but it got old very, very quickly. But yeah, she's the only one who will appear here twice. And then Abyss Keeper, Hot take, maybe. I don't know. Abyss Keeper's better than Gatekeeper. I said it. Sorry. And then we get to E tier, which was a bit of a mix-up. So, I don't know. A little bit ago, I thought I liked Cyril more. But I don't think that's the case. I was really sitting here thinking about it. Lysithea and Ash, in that order. I'm not very, I don't know, I'm not fans of them too much. But Cornelia, again, this is, I don't know. I guess me saying this out loud, I'm not huge fans of Lysithea and Ash. They have great moments. But I do really like Cornelia. But she's not shown too much. But I do really like Cornelia. She's a cool villain. And then Cyril, again, a lot of Cyril's supports kind of suck. And he kind of has this one note. But I don't know. I could get into it. There's a whole bag to unpack when it comes to Cyril. But I don't got time for that. So he's down here. And then Judith and Nadir. I think they were two really cool supporting characters. I wish we got to see more of them. But ultimately, they were pretty neat. And then comes Gatekeeper. I love Gatekeeper, yes. However, I don't love Gatekeeper more than the people above him. He is nice, he's a good boy. But ultimately, I think this is where he stands for me. He's above Anna. Anna, I like Anna as a character, just as the recurring Fire Emblem girl, right? But in this game, she got so shafted. No supports. A lot of her monastery dialogue is repeated from month to month. And she's just not very good as a unit, unless, like, you can make anyone good in this game. But, man, I don't know. There's no science behind this. It's fucking opinion. But then we're starting to get places where it's like, do I care? Not a whole lot. Lord Arundel, I think, was pretty cool. You can see Talus is down here. Because Arundel gets all the screen time, gets all the cool dialogue, all the cool lines. I don't know. I thought he was a really cool asshole among all the villains. You can see, like, there's all the characters that you get to really know. The characters that are around for a while. And then you get to some of the characters that they're really not. So a lot of it's just based on, like, they're cool, but I don't know enough about them to put them above anyone else. So, like, I really like Arundel as a villain. He's a fucked up dude. That's cool. Again, we go to Constance inside, or rather, Constance outside. Not for me. And then fucking Nemesis. He's just cool looking. He just has a really fucking cool design. His map and music, really, really cool. So he goes here. And then goes Sylvain's brother, whose name I can't remember right now. But I feel like what's keeping him above joining H tier is it's pretty much Sylvain supports and all the talk about him outside, because you only see him for a bit, right? But he is talked about quite a lot. And then we have Flame Emperor specifically. Just kind of like, the idea was cool. I like him more than Geralt, who is kind of like, I don't know, Geralt was kind of a nobody. More of a person than either of the Byleths. They're just kind of here. Now we get into some of the villains. Costas, his fucking weird head, his screaming, I don't know, it's endearing. It's kind of, he's that first boss, right? I don't know, it's like Gazik. There's something lovable about him. And we get down here, Talus and Jimmy Neutron, Big Brain Solon. Kind of neat, but I don't know. From Metody all the way here, it's just kind of like, they appeared. It was kind of neat that they appeared. I would have wanted more. It's just kind of eh. And that's a good way to describe H. Eh. But speaking of useless, this is about where, okay. Now, Fleisch, I don't know. I might be able to pull Fleisch, like, up to G, maybe. because I kind of like her involvement in Blue Lions. But even I would say maybe like no, like here, this whole cutscene with Edelgard's dad, not cutscene, but the CGs and whatnot, that was pretty cool. Fleisch, just for the Blue Lions route, I think can be bumped up. But these two useless pieces of shit, man, dude, I thought they were cool. They had like neat designs. I was interested to learn about them, seeing every other path. Then I get the Crimson Flower and like, wow, they are the biggest dead weight I've ever seen. So they're down here. And now this guy, fucking Alfric. So Alfric is kind of a special case because on one hand you can argue, I hate Alfric, but he's a villain, you're supposed to hate him, right? So maybe he did a good job. So for that reason, like maybe he should be higher because like I actively feel something whenever I look at him, and it's hate. He's fucking gross. I can't stand Alfric. But again, I have this inner turmoil, like he's a villain. I feel like that's the response you're supposed to get, but also I feel like he was supposed to be written sympathetically, and I have no sympathy for him whatsoever. He was disgusting. I said in the Ashen Wolves DLC LP, bring back bullying for this man, and I stick by that. He's just a gross incel. So for that reason, I hate him a lot. He goes here, and then you knew it was coming, right? I could have just left her off this, but no, we're already doing a tier list. So like I said, someone's already gonna get mad. So let's just lean into it and just all the way down in Z. And this is important. Time skip, like a degree better. Like I said, all these are ordered tiers. Time skip is a degree better. And there are not, in the entirety of Fire Emblem's franchise, there are like, what, 500 plus characters or something. There is a very, very small amount, maybe like 6 tops, of characters I actually hate. This is a new one. And it's like, I think the voice actor did an incredible job portraying her. But man, do I just really not like this character. I've said it before, she's the neat character that was made like, haha, look at the funny neat, and that is all she was. There are other characters who have similar feels, like Florina springs to mind, but Florina, I think, was done justice for this whole, like, timid, meek, I've been abused, you know? This was a character that could have a really tragic backstory, but is used more often than not as really obnoxious screaming comical relief, and I am not about it in any way, shape, or form. So, Smelly Girl goes down here. And that is the law written in stone. You're welcome. But no, I don't know. I thought this was gonna be a fun thing to do just because I had everything written down. So I figured, why not, you know? And just comparing, this is what we ended up with. Let's zoom all the way out, get it all in screen. This is what we ended up with, and this is what we started with. Poledoo is the only person to keep their spots, I believe. I think the only people, Cyril and Ash were kind of bottom picks. And I think they, as far as the main cast goes, I think they're the only ones that kind of stayed there. It was wild. I would love to know if you guys did anything of the sort. I would love to know your like major changes, like who you really liked, who you really disliked, and how that changed in the comments. That would be great. Alongside your other, you know, more important matters with the, the state of the channel at the start of this video. I would actually really like to see that because, like, again, Dorothea was tied bottom for me with Bernadetta, and now look at her. She's what? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6. My 6th favorite. But there we have it. Channel update. Let me know what game would you like to see next. and I'll do something with it, or take suggestions and see like, ooh, that sounds like a good idea. Whichever, we'll get things going. Bow Emblem 4 is starting this upcoming Monday on my Twitch stream. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard. And when it comes to Fire Emblem, in the past, I've done the latter half of my streams only on Monday and Wednesday, but I think moving forward, I'm going to do all of Monday might all be Bow Emblem, all 3 houses. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe we'll do that moving forward, or it'll just be an experiment and I won't do it for other Fire Emblems in the future, or maybe I'll change it in the middle of Bow Emblem. I don't know. We'll figure something out, but thank you all for watching. This was all fun and games. If you were actually mad, I suppose if you were actually mad you didn't make it this far, you probably already, you know, left your dislike, potentially your angry comment, and are well on your way, right? But if you are actually mad and have made it this far, it's not that serious. These are 2D characters in a video game, and at the end of the day, like, you can like who... Again, so many people in my Discord, in our active community, love Bernadetta. I'm not sitting here shitting on them. Like, it's not, again, it's not that serious. I'll just leave it at that. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in whatever projects come soon, TM. Bye.